Sagittarius, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Sagittarius love reading. Today we are going to take a look at how your romantic person of interest really feels about you here in December 2024. We're also going to look at what they're thinking about you, what their intentions are toward you, and what their most likely actions are going to be related to you as we move through the rest of December 2024 and beyond. Then I'm going to finish the reading off by getting you some advice from the universe on how to best navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with them, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should play it in the way so things work out best for you. So let's get started here. Let's get 3 cards for how does Sagittarius's romantic person of interest really feel about Sagittarius here in December 2024. Getting the distinct impression already that this person is not very forthcoming with information because I have to dig for everything here. All the cards flipped right side up but didn't actually come out of the deck, and I have to go hunt for them here. So that's like pulling teeth to get info out of somebody, usually is what that means. Underlying this person's feelings about you, 3 of Wands. This is Aries energy. This is essentially waiting on something. This is like at the stage where they already know what it is that they want. They've already chosen the path that they believe gets them to the thing that they want. They've already started taking steps down the path, taking actions, trying to manifest this thing that they want. But this is being at the spot where they just don't have it yet. They fully believe it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet, and they're kind of stuck waiting on it to show up. I've got 4 of Cups right behind that. This is Cancer energy of not being fully happy, not being fully content with what they have right here in front of them, so much so that they're daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that they believe might lead them to their happiness and fulfillment. Sometimes I'll get this when a person's not happy that I'm together with you, but there's something missing and I'm thinking about maybe this other person or this other thing that I want. Sometimes I'll get this card when there's a love offer on the table between the 2 of you already, and it hasn't been accepted or rejected yet. It's just kind of been left hanging here in the air with nothing really being done about it. Could be that. Could be them contemplating making a love offer and haven't done so yet. They might be waiting on... I think they might be waiting on a communication about the love offer to come in. I have 8 of Wands right behind it, Sagittarius energy. This is the second fastest energy in the deck. This is very fast, like back and forth passionate communications happening, usually through the airwaves. This can also be rapid forward movement or rapid progress on something that there's a lot of passion or desire for. Can represent travel. This 3 of Wands can actually represent travel too, but a lot of times this will be a lot of energy coming at somebody all at one time, like trying to take a drink of water out of a fire hose. It's just too much happening all at once, too much to process all at once, and it can feel overwhelming. But I got this energy of either waiting on a love offer to be accepted or waiting to put a love offer in, having a lot of passion and desire in the background, maybe being overwhelmed with something here. So let's take a look at what actually came out in your person's feelings. We got the 9 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Magician. 9 of Pentacles is Virgo energy. This is a singles energy. This is a step backwards from the 10 of Pentacles, which would be combining lives together, building a life together, living together, being married, something along those lines, like trying to like combine together. Well, this is a step back. This is physically single, physically independent. Probably mean they're not by themselves. Doesn't always mean that the person is single. Sometimes I'll get this card when someone's not single, but they try to present themselves in the physical world as if they are single. But this is not really feeling like that. This is feeling much more like I'm waiting on something to come in and currently am single and feeling independent. I got the Wheel of Fortune next, which is a change in the luck and fortune. This can represent, if things have been going bad, this would be the wheel spinning the other way and trying to correct course and put things back on track. If things have been going great, this would be the wheel spinning the other way and things taking a left turn into the telephone pole out of nowhere. This can represent divine timing. It can represent a cycle that's repeating. It looks like they're wanting a change to this idea of being single is what this is feeling like to me. waiting on either a love offer to come in or waiting to make a love offer for some reason. Could be waiting on the right timing here. I've got the Magician next. This is the Mac Daddy Master Manifester of the tarot deck. It's someone who's got all the tools, abilities, and resources to create the world to be any way they want it to be, to create the world in alignment with their will. He's got all 4 aces on the table in front of him. The aces are the ones of the 4 suits, which would represent 1111, the number of manifesting. I get this card either when it's telling me that the person that I'm reading about has created the situation I'm reading about, or I get this card when someone is actively trying to manifest something. If that's the case, they're actively trying to manifest a change to this idea of being single. That's their feelings. Let's take a look at their thinking about you, Sagittarius. What's this person thinking about Sagittarius here in December 2024, please? Okay, making me dig for it again. Come here. Double check this and make sure nothing else flipped. Okay. Underlying their thinking about you, 10 of Cups. This is Pisces energy. This is the happily ever after. This is most people's goal in terms of love and relationships. Happy fairy tale romance, happily ever after. Most of the time, this card gets more people in trouble than just about any card in the tarot deck, because we all want this happily ever after so bad that we'll ignore red flags, we'll sweep things under the rug, we'll pretend like things didn't happen, because if any of that stuff is true, then this true love thing can't be true, and I want this to be true. So this will a lot of times lead people to like self-delusional behavior where they're ignoring things that they shouldn't ignore. Most of the time, this card is not really talking about true love and really happily ever after. Most of the time, this is like an idealized point of view that someone has, where they're looking at the relationship as if it were this happily ever after. It's more a representation of what someone wants something to be versus what it actually is most of the time. But they're thinking about you in terms of happily ever after. I got 6 of Pentacles right below that. This is Taurus energy. This is an energy of balance. It can be generosity or reciprocity, like you scratch my back and I scratch your back. We take care of each other. It's equal give and take. Balancing something back out here. This sometimes can represent the merchant here, giving to 2 different people in the physical sense, although I have absolutely nothing that's telling me that out here. Looking like they're thinking about you in terms of happily ever after and equal give and take. And I have Temperance right behind that, which is an energy of patience. This is your major arcana card, Sagittarius. This is patience. It's about blending 2 things together, but doing it little bits at a time and not being in a big hurry about it. We did see that 3 of Wands a little bit ago, an energy of waiting on something, fully believing it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. This can be being patient with that. Maybe waiting on the right timing or trying to manifest it in the right timing. This can sometimes be reconciliation energy. In tarot, water represents love and emotions. And here the love has been separated into 2 different cups and she's recombining it back together. So if you guys have had some sort of a split in the past and this is maybe trying to turn things around and change this idea of being single, it could be that. What actually came out in their thinking about you, Judgment, the Star, and the 7 of Cups. Judgment is the most powerful decision card in the tarot deck. This is a final decision. It's about passing a final verdict in judgment on something. In a relationship reading, this is one of 2 things. Either A, we're calling this dead and over with and there's no coming back from it, or B, this is about trying to resurrect it, trying to call it back from the grave, bring it back to life and change it so it's never going to be the same way again. It's possible that we had some sort of a problem between the 2 of you and this person is trying to overcome that here and trying to correct course. Next in their thinking, I have the Star, another major arcana card. This is Aquarius energy. This is a card of hope. It's a card of healing. It's right here connected to this Wheel of Fortune, having the hope that we can change something, having the hope that we can turn something around, probably fix something, having the hope that we can get past this judgment and bring something back to life, get back to this happily ever after, where we're together emotionally, where we're doing equal give and take. This Temperance card is an energy of like recalibrating something that's way out of whack, way out of balance. And I've got a card of balance and trying to restore balance in front of that, having the hope that we can heal this. This is the card that comes immediately after the Tower in the sequence of the major arcana. So you don't make it to the Star without going through a Tower moment of some kind first, where something important in their life came crashing down all around them. That Tower is a lot of times the collapse of a relationship, or even the collapse of a belief system, like this mental model of the world that they were operating from, where the way they believed things were going to be, something dramatically changed with that, and maybe the belief fell apart. This is the hope that we can get past that and put it back together. Next in their thinking is the Seven of Cups. This is Scorpio energy of options and choices and confusion about those options and choices. There are a lot of cups here. Means there's a lot of emotions involved. There's a lot of different ways this situation can work itself out, and they're not wanting to make a mistake and pick the wrong cup here. The clouds of smoke around the cups can represent clouded judgment. We got judgment out here, clouded decision making. It can represent intoxication. It can represent just emotional confusion. And sometimes it can represent someone blowing a smoke screen and trying to prevent you from seeing something. I don't really feel that as much as I feel like they're trying to manifest this idea of picking the right cup, turning things around, having the hope that we can heal this and bring this back to life is what this is looking like. Let's take a look at their intentions toward you. What are this person's intentions towards Sagittarius as we move through December 2024, please? Get 3 cards. Come here. Let's get one more. What are their intentions? Thank you. Well, I'm liking that. Underlying their intentions, 2 of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This is a love connection between 2 people. It's I breathe you in, you breathe me in, we're connected. But it is a 2, and in tarot, 2s are about choices and decisions. So this can be a choice about the connection itself, or a choice between more than one person. It's not really feeling like that, although I do have options out here. Maybe that could be what happened, and maybe they were acting single when they weren't, and had other options, and maybe they did create this situation that needs turned around and got judgment passed on them based on their thoughts and their actions and what they were up to and what they were manifesting. This is looking like a choice about the connection is underlying their intentions. Yeah, I got the Fool right behind that. This is the first card of the major arcana, the first card of the whole tarot deck, card 0. This is a legitimate new beginning at something, but it's a new beginning where maybe they don't have all the answers yet. Maybe they don't know what the steps are, or even how this is going to play itself out, how it's going to work. And this is about not really needing any of that. It's about saying, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to leap off this cliff, and I'll worry about how to grow wings on my way down. I'll figure it out as I go. So it looks like they're wanting to take the blind leap of faith into this connection, or start at the beginning in this connection. Yeah, the Empress here. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She's always pregnant, so she's always giving birth to something. In a relationship reading, she represents the birth of something new, as in the birth of a new relationship. So I don't know if you guys are just now starting to get together and this person's waiting on the right timing, or if we've had some kind of a problem and this person's wanting to start over at the beginning and rebirth the connection. Let's see here. I got to tell you this one. I got 9 of Wands right behind that. That's Sagittarius energy. It's about being walled off and defensive, although this is also a card of healing. This is the Wounded Warrior. He's got a bandage on his head. He's been hurt. Hence this wall that he builds around himself. It's a defense mechanism. It's his way of like protecting himself so he doesn't get hurt anymore. I don't know if this person has hurt you, or if this is talking about you have a wall up that's preventing them from taking this leap of faith and birthing something new, and maybe they're trying to make a change to that. This can sometimes just represent there's a barrier in the way. I got Knight of Pentacles behind that. Slowest moving knight in the deck. Very slow, monotonous forward movement. This when a person's going through this, it's really hard to tell the difference between this and the Hanged Man. With the Hanged Man, there is no progress happening at all. Things are stuck and not moving. And with this, it feels like nothing's moving. It's so slow that you probably can't tell that anything's happening, or at least they probably can't tell. It's like trying to get past this barrier. Now, it's also very slow, methodical forward movement, and the downside is it's really slow, but the positive side is this is not someone who skips steps. They've got the step-by-step procedure, and they're following it to the letter. They're not trying to move too quickly and skip past anything important. They're doing it one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. So even though it's slow, when they do show up, they've got the real deal. This is looking positive. It's looking like maybe they're requiring to have some patience here, and things are not moving super quickly. But that's underlying their intentions. What actually came out in their intentions: Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, King of Wands. A lot of passion and desire there. The Four of Wands is Aries energy. Fours are about stability. This is stability of the home, stability of the family, stability of the connection between the two of you. We've already seen the Three of Wands. The story of manifesting is the 2, 3, and 4 of Wands in the minor arcana. The 2 is where you're at that decision point, trying to decide what is it I actually want for my life, and which of these two paths is going to get me to that, and which path do I leave behind. The 3 that we saw is where they've already chosen what they want. They've already started taking steps down the path and fully believing the thing they want is going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. Well, this is the next step, and this is where it actually physically materializes. It becomes stable in the physical reality, and it's a celebration energy where the thing I want is actually here in front of me, and I can celebrate its arrival and its stability. These 4 wands represent 1111, which is the number of manifesting, and I've got that out here with the Magician as well, and they're diagonal from each other. The card in the center of that is the Star, having the hope that this thing that I want is actually going to happen. What they're wanting, what they're intending is to stabilize this connection here. 10 of Pentacles is also in their intentions. We mentioned that when I looked at the very first card, that 9 of Pentacles. This is also Virgo energy. This is physically combined together, like building a life together. I get this card when people are living together, when they're married, or when they're going down the path toward that. It's about combining lives together, building a life together. That's directly connected to having the hope that we can do that, having the hope that we can heal something, that we can turn something around, or maybe that this is the right timing. Maybe this is even feeling like divine timing, divine intervention, like what's supposed to happen for this person. I've got the Star with that. They could be viewing you as the one for them. That's looking pretty good. I can't tell if there was a problem between the two of you, or this person just had some sort of a tower moment at some point in their past. I know they've had a tower because the Star is here. Final card in their intentions is the King of Wands. This is Sagittarius or Leo energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what they want. They go after what they want. They normally don't take no for an answer. They don't let roadblocks and obstacles and little challenges stop them from getting what they want. This is kind of like that Genghis Khan kind of an energy of I'm going to find a way to get what I want, or I'm going to make a way to get what I want. Really like determined, motivated, like driven kind of a person, ambitious kind of a person. It's also the pinnacle of the wand suit, and the wand is about passion and desire and sexual energy. So this is someone who's not just driven and motivated in the normal sense. They're also very driven and motivated by passion, desire, and sexual energy. I do have in this column with it this options and choices and confusion, and I don't want to make a mistake and pick the wrong thing here. I want to get what I want, and I don't want to mess anything up, and I'm trying to create this thing that I want here. I can't tell, like I said, if this is like them trying to get back with you and correct course, or if this is them just trying to get with you to begin with, but that's in their intentions. But we know how people are. What we intend to do, what we actually end up doing don't always match. So I'm going to look at what this person's most likely actions are going to be toward you as we move through the rest of December 2024 and beyond. What are this person's most likely actions? Thank you. ha. Underlying their most likely actions. Page of Wands. Pages are messengers. Wands are about passion and desire. So this is passionate messages, news messages, communications about passion and desire, expressing interest, expressing what it is that I want. It's also the minor arcana version of the Fool card that we saw earlier. The Fool, like I said, is about taking that leap off the cliff and worrying about it on the way down. This is a more toned down version of that. So this is more like, I have the willingness to take the very first steps down this brand new path toward this thing I want, and I'm going to dip my toe in the water and see how it works. That might be them communicating with you and expressing interest or telling you what it is that they want, or just passionately communicating with you. Notice we're going from like, in my intentions, I'm this King of Wands, but in my what I'm most likely to do, it's back down a couple of notches here. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I have another page out here in what they're actually most likely to do. So they're definitely going to communicate with you. I got the Three of Swords behind this Page of Wands, though. This is Libra energy. This is heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. That means it's not them, it's not you, it's some other energy that's causing some sort of a heartbreaking thing. Sometimes that's a romantic third party. It's not always that. It can be nosy friends, nosy family members, nosy neighbors, nosy co-workers, like some other person sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. It can be working too much. It could be this timing being off, could be the third energy. There could have been someone in the past here where they were acting single when they weren't and created this situation that needs turned around. They could have had other options, and that could be what caused a problem here, what got judgment passed, and the reason why there's the need for hope that we can heal it could be something along those lines. I've got the moon right behind that. This is Pisces energy of fear, worry, and anxiety, usually from uncertainty. When the moon's out, it's dark outside. You can't see the full path in front of you. So this can be that energy of not being able to fully see what's in front of me here and not sure, am I on the right path or not? Was this the right path to begin with? Did I make a mistake and turn the wrong way? Should I go back? It's like that level of uncertainty can cause fear, worry, and anxiety. Now also, when the moon's out and it's dark outside, things can be hidden in the dark, secrets can be kept, so it can represent that as well. I don't think that's what it is. Their fear, worry, anxiety, and uncertainty. I think there is some heartbreaking thing here that maybe they don't want you to see. Maybe they've had their heart broken previously. That might be what the star is trying to tell me. And they have this willingness to take the first step, but this heartbreak that they've suffered that's in the background that maybe you don't know about, maybe that's taken them down a few notches from King to Page. Could be why there's still that energy of waiting that we saw at the beginning. But what's behind the moon is the Ten of Cups again, the combined together emotionally life here, like most people's goal in love and relationships, happily ever after, true love type of a thing. Could be that you just don't really know how they feel about you because maybe they haven't expressed interest yet, but that's coming if that's the case. And if they haven't expressed interest, it's probably because they had some heartbreaking thing happen to them in the past. When I look at what they're actually most likely to do, Two of Swords, Five of Wands, Page of Cups. Two of Swords is Libra energy. This is a decision that needs to be made that hasn't been made yet for some reason. The person on the card is blindfolded, and sometimes that blindfold represents, I just don't have enough information available to me in order to make this decision, which is why I haven't made it yet. Sometimes the blindfold is they have blinders on. There's something that they don't want to see, something they don't want to look at, and being in denial about that is preventing them from making a decision. Sometimes it's not their decision, it's your decision, and they can't make the decision. I did see Four of Cups earlier, where that could be they've already made a love offer and they're just waiting on you to communicate your answer. It's not been answered yet. It could be that. This decision is directly tied to stability of home family connection, The decision is also tied to the most powerful decision card in the whole tarot deck, the Judgment card, and this idea of being single here. So this is some decision related to being single or not single and having stability in a connection or not. Next, I've got the Five of Wands. This is a Leo energy, but fives are conflict. Wands are about passion and desire. So this is a conflict in desires, like an internal conflict where a piece of them wants this one thing and another piece of them wants pretty much the opposite of that. And this is that internal tug of war in terms of what is it that they actually want, where they're pulling themselves in multiple directions at the same time, internally conflicted about this idea of combining lives together, about the hope of it, about whether or not we can turn this around. It's possible that this person hopes that we can be together, and at the same time, I'm a little worried and potentially uncertain about whether or not that's going to change things between the two of us, or whether it can be turned around and changed. Like, this could be a case where it's not their decision on whether you guys are going to be together. It might be your decision, and they're internally conflicted about what you're going to communicate, what you're going to communicate. Like, there's that heartbreak in the background, the uncertainty in the background. But I've got two messengers here, two different cards about communicating. Page of Cups is communications about love and emotions. This could be lovey-dovey communications. This could be flirtatious behavior. This could be the early stages of communicating about how they feel about you, expressing their feelings. Again, it's not a king. It's a toned down version of that, not fully developed emotional energy, not fully developed passion or desire energy. Looking like this person is wanting to communicate with you, or maybe they're wanting you to communicate with them. It's in the column here with the Magician, the Master Manifester, and then the confusion. I know what I want, but I'm confused about how to get it, or confused about whether or not I am going to get it. This is starting to feel like they're waiting on you to communicate. But let's scoot this over a little bit here and get some more room. Take a look at the advice for you, Sagittarius. What should you do? What should you not do? How should you play this so things work out in the way that's best for you? Let's get 5 cards for the advice, please. Okay, come here. Come here. Like an explosion here. Whoa, hey, I'm trying to get away from you. Let's get 2 more. What's the advice for Sagittarius on how to navigate this? Well, we're taking an extra one here at the end. Oh, that's good. We got progress there. Underlying your advice. 7 of Swords. Didn't see that one coming. This is Aquarius energy. It's got 3 distinct meanings. I'm going to give them all to you. You take it however it resonates for you. The first one is lying, cheating, stealing, deception, sneaking around, trying to get away with something that I shouldn't be trying to get away with. That could be what happened between the two of you. They could have had options, and there was some deceptive behavior. The moon, I saw that. That could be a secret being kept. They could have been blowing a smoke screen. They could have been trying to keep you blindfolded. It could be that that's why judgment was passed. That's why there was a tower. Even though I don't have a tower, I know there was one. Now, the other meaning to this card can be self-preservation, as in you not wanting to get hurt. The person on the card is stealing these swords because they don't want the swords used against them. They don't want to be hurt by the swords. And they're stealing 5 swords, which represents a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. They don't want to be hurt. But they're leaving 2 swords behind. The 2 of Swords, we've already seen that out here. A decision that needs to be made and hasn't been made yet. So the other meaning to the card, besides lying and cheating, and besides not wanting to get hurt, is it can represent leaving something behind. Got an Ace of Pentacles right behind that. This is a new physical, real-world opportunity presenting itself to you. A physical opportunity presenting itself. It's an opportunity, though. You have to grab this and do something with it, or it's just empty potential. And I've got 3 of Swords again. Okay, I saw that right here in the background. there might be another person involved. You might not actually be single, or maybe they're not single and this is really more feeling like you though. Huh. Now I'm a little confused. I don't know if you aren't single and you're with someone and this person is wanting you to leave to be with them, or if they're with someone and they're wanting... I don't know. Take that. This Seven of Swords is really throwing me off. So take that however it resonates for you. I'm feeling like I might be getting multiple different messages here for just different people. But this is heartbreak and sadness from some third energy. And that's the wall that's in the way. There's some other energy that's in the way here. And I don't know if it's not wanting to get hurt. That might be the case. It might be that both of you have been hurt before. Anyway, that's underlying your advice. The actual advice that came out for you, Nine of Pentacles. That's funny. That's their very first card. Nine of Swords. 10 of Pentacles. That's also in their energy. 10 of Cups. We saw that twice in their energy. And this one came out as 2. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. That's progress happening here, going from the page up to the next step in the Knight. I've actually got the 9, the 10, the page, and the Knight. All 4 cards in a row, all in sequence, all ascending energy, things physically moving forward here. There's that fear, worry, and anxiety again, though. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. 9 of Pentacles, we saw that as their very first card. That's single energy, not physically together, physically independent. I can take care of myself. This is a different 9 of Pentacles in this deck, though. The lady has this squirrel in her hand, and she's looking at it like, oh, you poor thing. But the squirrel has a black bag over its head, so it can't really see what's going on. But she can see what's going on. But notice she hasn't removed the bag from the squirrel's head. She's just looking at it with pity. And this is really a metaphor for 2 different pieces of yourself, where there's a piece of yourself that can clearly see what's going on, and there's another piece of you that doesn't see what's going on. And even the piece of you that does isn't helping you out, isn't taking the bag off of your head. It's like leaving you in some sort of a spot here. There's like some element of feeling trapped by something. This 2 of Swords is really sticking out to me here because there's the blindfold on. This is almost like there's something I don't want to see. Next, I have 9 of Swords, which is fear, worry, and anxiety. This is thinking about something over and over again with all this fear and worry behind your thinking, and doing that to the point that it becomes stressful. This can be like mental anguish. But notice again, the person has their eyes covered because there's something that it's so bad in their mind that they don't want to look at it. And then beside that is the 10 of Pentacles, which is out here in your person's energy, but it's this combined together life, building a life together. I get this when people live together or they're married. And there's this idea of like not clearly seeing something, an idea of like almost self-pity and fear, worry, and anxiety, and not wanting to face something about being together. And beside the 10 of Pentacles is the 10 of Cups. These are most people's goal in life, in love and relationships. This is most people's goal in the physical world. And I've got both of them right here. I don't know if this is telling me that you maybe thought you had that with this person and there was some deceptive behavior because a new opportunity presented itself and there's heartbreak and sadness and a wall in the way because of that, like defense mechanisms coming up. Or if this is like you're in a relationship already and possibly living with someone, or at least like have combined your lives together in the physical sense and the emotional sense. And maybe there's this idea of not not being totally happy in that, but then at the same time not wanting to like take your head out of the bag, not wanting to take your hands off your eyes and actually face something here. It's looking, I don't know if you're being required to walk away from something and leave something behind to get this new opportunity, but there's going to be heartbreak if you do that. I'm confused a little bit. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how this relates to you so I can try and figure this out later. But the final card in your advice, like I said, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. This is, again, progress happening in the physical sense. This is communications about a physical opportunity presenting itself, which is right here behind this Seven of Swords. This is also someone who has this early stage plan for their future where the plan isn't fully developed all the way yet. So this can just be communicating about the plan, communicating about an opportunity here. But then Knight of Pentacles, which again is an action taker. It's the slowest knight in the deck. Very slow movement, methodical movement, not in a big hurry, one step at a time kind of an energy here. It can also represent a person who knows what they're supposed to do, but just doesn't do it for some reason. And likewise, excuse me, it can also represent a person who knows what they're not supposed to do and is doing it anyway. And I don't know that that's the case here. I've got 3 different pages. There's definitely communication between the two of you. There's this idea of going from being single to being physically together and emotionally together, and maybe even a plan for doing it, but maybe the plan requires one step at a time because I don't want to be hurt over this opportunity. I've been hurt before and I don't want to get hurt again. I've got 3 different cards here in the underlying energy that reference not wanting to be hurt, heartbreak and sadness, wanting to protect myself from getting hurt. And the only thing in the middle of it all is this new opportunity. And it could be a case of where you're kind of being defensive here, defending off this connection, trying to block this connection, even though there's happiness related to it. And then the 8 of Wands again, there's some forward movement and some communications, passionate communications, but there's also some burden here. And this is supposed to be the stage where you lay the burden down and move on without it. But the very next card is the 4 of Pentacles, which is holding on tightly to something and not letting go of it. I don't know if you've got some sort of a problem here about moving from being single to being together because you're fearful and worried and anxious and stressed out about doing that. And maybe you've had your head in the bag before. Maybe you got duped before by someone different and you don't want a repeat of that. But then there's this other piece of you that's like, yeah, but this is a different situation. And looking at the head in the bag is like, oh, you poor thing. And it's like, I get why you're hurt, but you can't stay in the bag. That's what this is really feeling like here. And I think maybe this person is internally conflicted here because they're not sure if you've healed enough to be able to do this. Maybe they're the one that hurt you previously. But this looks to me like they're coming at it from the right angle this time. Now, if you still have questions that you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Sagittarius love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.